I want to share with you. Oh, am I glitching? No, I'm all good. I want to share with you a brand new feature on Reels that everybody's kind of talking about. And if you've got this new feature on Reels, you absolutely want to start using it and testing it because it could really help you. So this has not been around for very long. You'll know whether you've got it or not by looking at your screen. I'll share with you kind of where you can find that shortly. But this is pretty cool. I'm testing it myself at the moment, and I'm listening to a lot of people that are using this new feature, and it's bringing people that are using this new feature, it's bringing them a lot of new followers. So if you are somebody that needs to build up your network a little bit and build your following because you're just not getting your content in front of enough people, then you definitely want to test this feature if you've got access to it. So this is a new feature on Instagram. I will say it's not Facebook, it's Instagram. So those of you watching on Instagram or catching the replay, pay attention. You could use it as a strategy to obviously build a following on Instagram, even if you don't love Instagram. Some of you might be using the Reels feature on Instagram and cross-promoting to Facebook. And the reason why you would do that is because the formatting of the Reels, because when you do Reels just only on Facebook, you lose all your formatting, like all the words and the hashtags and everything get bunched up together. But when you cross-promote between Instagram to Facebook, it keeps all the formatting. So there's a strategic reason why you would probably want to create Reels on Instagram and cross-promote to Facebook. But this new feature is Instagram only. But if you are struggling on Instagram, you want to use this. So I've only been using it for a few days and testing it out. One thing that I will say with this new feature is that from what I've heard from a lot of people that are using it and testing it and trialing it, it just takes a little bit of a while. Did that make sense? You know what I'm trying to say. Takes a while to kind of warm up and actually kind of get views. So you do need to be patient with it, okay? So what I'm talking about is a brand new feature on Instagram called Trial Reels, okay? This is separate from, well, it's a feature within your normal Reels component, but they're called Trial Reels, and the whole purpose of Trial Reels is to put your Reels in front of people that are not already following you. The Reel doesn't even go on your feed on Instagram. It actually goes out to people that are not already following you. So this is an amazing strategy for you to jump on to build your following and get your content in front of people that don't know who you are and haven't seen you yet, okay? Now, everyone should be looking to build their network. The more you can build your network and the more that you can build your audience, obviously the better that is. It's your job to build your influence over that network and that audience. So there are plenty of people out there with a huge audience, but if you don't have any influence or you're not giving good value to that audience, it's not going to help you. So you still have to give good content and good value to that audience. But this is definitely a strategy for you to help build your network and audience, okay? So firstly, how you know you've got this feature is at the end of posting a reel. So you go to Instagram, you create the reel, you've got your video, you've got your words, you've got your trending audio, you've got all the components together, and you click next at the end of the screen. I would show you, but I'm using my phone to go live on Instagram over here, so I can't show you my phone. And I actually did charge up my phone, my spare phone, to show you, but I left it upstairs and I'm downstairs, so I don't have it with me. I had to jump off another Zoom to quickly come here for this live, and I forgot my spare phone in the meantime, but I'll show you where you can find it. So, well, I'll tell you where you can find it. So you do a reel, you create the reel, you get to the end screen before you post. Now, what you're going to see in front of you on the screen, and I wrote it down, so you'll see your video up the top, you'll have your description, your caption there, and then at the bottom, before you post it on Instagram, it'll say tags, so you can tag people. It'll have location if you want to choose the location. It'll have some audio settings. It'll have some AI settings. It'll you can choose where it goes, like your audience, whether it's public or not. And then underneath that, it'll say trial. And then so it'll say, it'll just literally say the word trial. And then on the other side of the screen, it says new in blue in a circle. So if you've got it, you'll see at the bottom of your screen, just before you post your reel, it will say trial. You'll know that it's new because it's got, the words are written new with a big, as I said, a big blue like oval circle around it. And then you can toggle it on and you can toggle it off. So how do you use it? Again, so just follow those instructions to know whether you've got it or not. So I'll get to how you use it in a second. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason as to who has it and who hasn't got it. And countries or size of audience or a minimum number of audience, like it doesn't seem to matter. Like there's no rhyme or reason who's got it, this feature, and who hasn't. So I'm in Australia. I've actually got it. I've got it on both my Instagram accounts because I have 2 Instagram accounts. I have one for business, which I'm live on right now over here on my phone. And I have one for health, like my weight loss and my menopause and hormone journey. I have the trials feature on both my accounts, okay? But there are some people that don't have it yet. There are some people that have more than one account and have it on one and don't have it on another. So I can't give you any kind of rhyme or reason, and you can't turn it on. Either you've got it or you don't. So if you don't have it, just be patient. I'm sure you'll get it soon, okay? But if you've got it, you absolutely want to use it. And the reason that you want to use it is that you can push it out to, Instagram is going to push it out for you to a whole lot of people that are not already following you. But the algorithm has to get used to who to put it out of. So when you first start using it, which I am at the moment, like I'm looking back on my trial reels. And by the way, if you're in my coaching community, I'll actually share my phone screen in a training and show you everything to do with this practically. But just to have a look at your phone to see whether you've got it. But you can look back to see your views, how many followers you've got from your trial reels. And for some people, it's taking a few weeks to take off. So if you've got it, use it. And here's how you're going to use it. So you're on your Instagram, you create a reel, you post a reel like you normally would. So I've got my Instagram where I'm going live at the moment. I might post a reel on that account and I just post it as normal. But I'm going to save to my camera roll the video that I created, okay? And I'm going to save my caption, my description, and my hashtags. I'm going to remember the trending audio that I put with it. So I'm going to have all of that kind of stored and memorized. After I've posted my reel to my feed, like I would just normally post a reel, I'm going to go and post it again to trial reels. Okay, you following along? So if you're following along, like following, just put that in the comments. So I'm going to go back to Instagram straight away. I'm going to pull up the same video, put the same words, the same hook, the same description, the same hashtags. But before I post it, I'm going to look at that option down the bottom that says trial, and I'm going to make sure that's toggled on. And I'm going to send this reel out as a trial reel. So that reel is not, and then I'll just press post, like I'll post it. That reel is not going to appear on my on my feed. That reel is going to be posted out to a whole new audience. If you haven't heard about this yet, please listen. This is like everybody that's not learning about it are jumping on it, and anything that's new, you are silly not to embrace, because anything that's new on the platforms, you're going to get more reach. You want to jump on anything that's new like this because you're more likely to get more reach out of that than anything else that you are doing because it's a new feature. So let me run that by you again. You do a normal reel, you post it to your feed like you normally always have done. And you may even cross promote that reel from Instagram to Facebook. Okay. So you do that as you normally do. Okay. The second thing you're going to do is go back to Instagram, same video, same text, same hook, same description, same hashtags, etc. But when you post it to trial reels. You don't post it to your feed, and let it go and do its thing. Now, here's the interesting thing as to what many people are doing with these trial reels. They are posting the same reel anywhere between 3 and 5 times in the same day with a slight change. So you might do the same wording on the screen, the same hook, and the same trending audio, but a different video. And then you might do the same video, but a slightly different hook, slightly different wording, same hashtags. Then you might do another variation of it, and you keep pushing it out to trial reels. None of those are going on your feed. You're turning, like when you turn trials on, it's literally not going on your feed. It's going out there in the big wide world. You won't see it. But what creators are doing is taking that one reel, as I said, one on your feed as you would normally do, that might cross promote to Facebook as well, but then using that same kind of concept of a reel, but doing different versions of them, anywhere between 3 and 5 versions, and posting it multiple times in a day with slightly different versions and putting it all out to trials. Now, I saw a screenshot of somebody in our team that's done this and have been playing with it for about 3 weeks. And every single trial reel, because you can go back and have a look at your results, I'm talking 12,000, 20,000, 30,000, 70,000. Like I'm talking big views. And it's all to people that are not already following them or don't already know who they are. So do you see the potential? So I am really honing in on this now myself. I'm testing it on both my different Instagrams. And yes, it takes time. But if you put even 30 minutes into this a day and you posted like multiple times to your Instagram reels, and remember, it's not a Facebook, it's just on Instagram. But usually what starts on Instagram ends up on Facebook somewhere along the line. So don't ignore learning about this. Okay, so you do your normal reel once, but then you take that same reel, slight different variations, 3 to 5 versions of that, post it to trials, post it to trials, post it to trials, let it get out there. Okay, I've already done one this morning, and I will be posting different variations about it. And you know the cool thing about us in this industry, and some of you that worry way too much about other people, what other people think, that reel is going out to people that are not already there. That reel is not even hitting your feed. So you can let go of any of that kind of mindset stuff that keeps you back from, oh, I wonder if my uncle's sister's daughter's, boyfriend's going to see this. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff that holds you back, you don't have to worry about that with this, because it's going out to a whole untapped new audience. Okay, this is gold. So I've been listening to quite a number of people that have jumped on this, podcasts, people in our team that are trialing it. And the common theme seems to be give it time, give it like a few weeks to take off. It's a bit like TikToks, that it might not start very well, but then like 7 days later, it might start gaining traction. That happens to me on TikTok all the time. I'll post a TikTok, and like it could be the same video as what I'm using as an Instagram reel. I'm just repurposing it, and it doesn't necessarily do well, but then I'll have another one that does well, and then it boosts all my other videos. At the moment, this is a video for another day. I might talk about this next week with you guys, but I've just gone back on TikTok because I kind of got a little bit slack on TikTok. I've just gone back on TikTok every day, probably for about the last 2 weeks. I've gained over 700 followers in the last 7 days on TikTok. And I have woken up to, just this morning, multiple people asking me for information on my products. Okay, so short form video is where it's at. whether it's reels on Instagram, reels on Facebook, or, you know, short form video on TikTok, that's the type of content that will get outside those people that are you know, on your platforms right now. So, you know, Facebook again, and if you're just on Facebook, stay on Facebook, stay focused. I'm not saying go on all the different platforms, you know, just because other people have success on them. If your focus is on Facebook, stay on Facebook and stay focused. Whatever you stay focused on, you'll get better results at. When you spread yourself too thin because you think you need to be on all different platforms, it's not necessarily the case. But if you've got the time and capacity to do reels, then you might as well be on Instagram and Facebook. And if you've got the time and the inclination and the skill level, then you could put it on TikTok as well, because that's what's going to get you outside your audience. On Facebook, your content will only ever be sent to a small percentage of the people that are following you, apart from Reels, Facebook Reels. Okay, so you put a post out there, you got 100 people that are Facebook friends of yours following you, then you're lucky if 10 people see that post. That's kind of how Facebook works as a general rule. That's why you always need to be Facebook friending people and build up your network, or do Reels. Okay? So I just want to share, I wrote a whole lot of notes from somebody I was listening to in the last couple of days. Let me just run through this, see if there's anything I've missed. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's another thing. You can actually repurpose Reels that have already done really well. So let's say you've actually did a reel 6 months ago and it's not time sensitive, but you're like, that reel was probably one of my better performing reels. Go and get that reel, like, you know, and you can download your own video from a previous reel and just copy the captions and the hashtags and whatever and push it out as a trial reel. So go back to your previous reels, your better performing reels, and repurpose them in this new feature called trials. Okay? Don't miss this. Don't overlook this. This could be, you know, something that makes a massive difference for you. Okay? The more you post on trial reels, the quicker the platform will understand your audience. So that's why people are like posting maybe 3 to 5, you know, trial reels a day, because they're trying to speed up that process of Instagram understanding who you want to put your content in front of faster. So they're just putting more of them out. But again, because they don't get posted on your feed, it doesn't matter how many times you post them. So you don't even necessarily need to create new content. You can just go and create, grab like your previous well-performing reels and just put them out into trials and do it multiple times a day. Okay. Just checking the trials. Oh, try testing. Yeah. And the other thing that was recommended is try posting them. Like, one of the small tweaks you might make is try a reel, 2 trials with hashtags and try them without hashtags. There's a real mixed bag with advice around hashtags. So there's a lot of people that don't use them at all on Instagram, and even very successful people. And there's other people that like swear by them. And, you know, the general rule with hashtags is it helps people find your content, because if they go searching for a particular hashtag, your content might come up. So that might be something that you could test with trial reels that you might not test so much with ordinary reels, is hashtags versus no hashtags. Okay. Like and comment on your own reel. That's still recommended. And start, like, what would be good to do with trial reels is any kind of reels that you're ordinarily doing, like save your video, save your hooks, save your description, save your hashtags, like have everything saved so you can repurpose into trial reels. Okay. And yeah, my last point there, give it time. Instagram is learning your audio. Oh no, I've got a couple more points. Select audio the same way as you would with a normal reel. Test everything. And most of all, kind of enjoy and have fun with it. But I would, if you're doing reels, I would seriously, if you've got the feature on your phone, I would adopt this sooner rather than later. I would post multiple ones in a day to speed up the algorithm with learning on who to push your reels out to. You never know what's going to happen, but give it a good few weeks. Okay. Debbie, question. So there is a trial reel option and they aren't posting onto our page yet. Did you catch the beginning of this video where I talked about that? Trial reels do not go to your feed. They go outside. Its specific strategy is to send your content to non-followers, which is gold for any of you. Any of you that are trying to build up your network and you're doing reels, you want to be using this feature if you've got it. If you haven't got it, just keep checking until you get it. And when you get it. Because anything that, like I said at the beginning of the video, anything that's a new feature on Reels, on Instagram or Facebook, they're going to give you more reach anyway because they're in their testing phase. And those kind of things are going to be favored. So don't sit back on this one. Embrace it. Okay? Share good. And I would absolutely share out this video. Anybody that you work with in your team, uplines, downlines, sidelines that are doing reels or, trying to build up their reach and audience outside their current market, this is absolutely a strategy you should jump on. So share the word. And I will share with you my results as I keep going. I've only just started this strategy, but it's, if you're living under a rock, anybody that's building on social media is talking about this. Okay, so don't ignore it. Okay, all good, Debbie. Yeah, absolutely. I love this feature. So if you've got it, if you haven't got it, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can turn on. You're just going to have to wait until you get given it. Okay, but absolutely run with this. Go and have a look for it, play with it. And again, if you're in my coaching community, I'll be talking about this soon and sharing my phone on the screen and running it through with you guys, in a more practical way. Okay, so hope that's helpful, for you guys to learn about that and to jump on it. So this is my last live video of the week. Coaching community again. Yesterday I did part 1 of practical reels training where I shared my phone on the screen and pushed all the buttons. So make sure you catch the recording of that. We'll be talking about this more in the future as well. If you're not a coaching community member, you should be, because that's where I share all the practical stuff and the pushing of the buttons. And that's kind of, what a lot of people miss. The other thing is, if you missed my live video yesterday, only twice a year do I open up like expressions of interest for my VIP program, because it's a 6-month program. So catch my video from yesterday. If you need accountability, direction, focus, mentorship, somebody to guide you, look at your work, tell you where you're going wrong, give you, a focus strategy, learn about branding, content, planning, DMO, accountability, all of that, Reels, TikTok, story, like all of it, then catch my video from yesterday and see if that might be something that you think you need. And if you do, you reach out, you say, can I please have the VIP information? I only take 10. Some of those spots are already filled. So don't sit back on that one if it's something that you think you need. Okay, so have an amazing weekend and I will see you next week. Yes, I will. I'm traveling next week. So next week might look a little bit different. But I'll still be on my normal live at the beginning of the week. So I will catch you then. If you get lost with anything, it's on the screen here, but not on Instagram. Just go to helenmartinonline.com. We're always circulating on my website my latest 3 live videos, public live videos. So you can always sort of catch up on my latest trainings. If you don't want to go and look for them, just go to helenmartinonline.com and they'll all be sitting there on my website. Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.